So there's a lot happening all over the world and we can see it. So let's look at it. Hold on to your cash. Try and kill as much as debt as you possibly can. And the third thing is don't panic. And most importantly, like we say, you've got to look after your health, and your health is the most important, and the people around you. But we need to also look at what's happening around the world. What are the clever people doing? And I always believe we're at the bottom of the food chain. So we always see the guys with the money, people who control things, know more than what's happening than what we do. So, I mean, let's look at it. Guys are stocking up. Guys aren't taking risks in the sense of they don't know what to expect. I mean, United States tonight is at 12 o'clock. It's going to close, the traveling between Europe and the States. There are obviously certain conditions around there. We see that certain countries are upping their way of schools, public gatherings. So there's a lot happening. They can't all be wrong. There must be something that they do know that we don't know. And most importantly, we don't need to panic, because panic makes you make mistakes. But a lot of it has to do, and it makes sense, what they're saying is that, if you've got to self-quarantine or your staff have to go work from home, these are precautions because we need to try and not infect as many people as possible. So stock up on your water, stock up on certain items. If you can for a week, if you can maybe for 2 weeks, if you can for 3 weeks, then at least you are taking certain precautions, because you don't know what could happen. There could be a complete shutdown. What's happening in Italy, some other countries are now starting to up it as well, taking certain precautions. I mean, yesterday the UK said that they're around about, I think, 4 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, behind Italy. And once again, in South Africa, we are starting to see more cases in South Africa. We're starting to see that things are starting to escalate, and it's all about us just taking precautions. So it doesn't harm you to stock up a week. Stock up with water, stock up with your toilet paper, stock up with your sanitizer, stock up with your pastas and things that don't get long life milks, those type of things. Take a little bit of extra if you can, because you don't know, tomorrow you can help some people that haven't been able to get, to buy those type of things. And start interacting and finding out what are your position if things do get worse. How are you planning to handle it? You got to look at it. But I mean, the whole world is changing. There are things happening all around us. So don't be one of those people that is caught in the middle. Talk to, to your different, if you're working for someone, start asking the questions. Start looking around you. Don't panic. Panic is not going to help you. And I think everyone's doing the best they possibly can. I don't think everyone has answers, and that is why you see different countries doing different things. But what has been shown, it does affect the elderly, it does affect the people that are ill and that. And if we can take precautions not to infect other people, not to actually bring harm to other people, then that's what we should do. So hold on to your money. It's not the time to be spending now money. Now's the time to be holding on to that cash, getting yourself out of debt, looking after your health. So important to be looking after your health and the people around you, because if you are looking after yourself, you can help so many people. You can help your family, you can help your friends, you can help total strangers. But it's not a bad idea to start looking ahead what is happening in other countries. And I truly believe, and that's my personal opinion, it's just a question of time. If they say UK is 4 weeks away, maybe we are 6 weeks away. This is my personal opinion, because at the end of the day, they've already started with much more infections. They've started with much more deaths. We haven't yet had any deaths in that. And our infection rates at the moment, or what is coming to the table, is very little. But once again, we are not testing that much. So obviously, as that number grows, we will be testing, and we will be getting many more people falling ill, and we will get to the stage most probably where schools are going to be shut down, where gatherings are going to be shut down, because that is what the whole world is doing. And it seems to be the way going forward, the way to control everything. So my personal belief is that we are most probably, I don't know, a couple of weeks away, like if I look at some of the other countries and that. But again, we'll have to wait for the scientists, we'll have to wait for the clever people that understand these things to actually tell us. But Disney closed, Amazon is sending their people to work from home. You're hearing what Facebook, so the big guys already started doing certain things. They must know something that we don't know. Obviously, being on top, having so much responsibility, having so much influence, in markets, and that they do know things. They obviously have very clever people around them, advising them and telling them, what is happening, and obviously know. So look at what's happening up top there. Don't panic. Don't panic. It's just about taking certain precautions. That is what it is at the end of the day. So what if you bought too much water? So what if you bought too much food? You're not going to throw it away. It just means you're going to take much longer to get to the supermarkets. But what happens if it happens to us that we have to shut down, or we can't get to the stores? Or if you get ill and you have to self-quarantine for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or whatever the case might be? What happens if you are actually ill and you don't want to actually infect your family? Take those certain precautions. Ask those questions. There's no wrong in taking precautions. Don't panic. Don't panic. Because panic is not the answer. Look at the information. Look what's happening all over the world. We've seen it. Countries started very slowly and eventually it escalated. We're at that stage now where we are starting. And once again, this is my personal advice. And each and every one, I don't know what your situation is. And I'm just telling you, this is how I feel. This is what I see. And I just truly believe that we will also be in that same situation, what we're seeing all over the world. It's just a question of time, and it's going to happen. So buy a little bit extra. Maybe you can help somebody. Hold on to your cash. Don't spend your money. Don't spend your money. You can always spend it later, wisely. And look at your debt. You don't want that pressure at this point in time. And look after your health. Your health is so important. Look after your health. Take all the precautions, but remember, the people up top there know much more than what we know. That's my personal opinion. So I always look at what the big guys are doing, and I always say they know something. We're always at the bottom, and eventually we get to find out sometimes last. So don't panic. Make the right decisions. We will beat this. We will get through with this. We are going to beat this. It's just a question of how long it's going to take. And if we take precautions, at least we don't get infected. Unnecessary. I mean, we don't want to get infected by going to large gatherings and get infected. So we take precautions. But most importantly, we will get through it. We will win. And we are going to get to the top again, because we're all born with greatness and with the potential for greatness. Cheers and good luck to all of you, and I pray for each and every one of you, and we should all be praying for one another. Good luck to all of you.